Picture this. You log into your family computer. You ferociously look through your AIM and MSN Messenger, and you're looking for that like special someone in your contact list. They're not online. You see your friend online, and you ask them what they're up to. You guys are bored, so you just jump on your bikes. You ride to a friend's house. The friend is playing basketball, so you play basketball for a little bit until someone has a great idea, and they say, "Hey, let's go down to that big hill next to the old cemetery, Cherry Hill." So you guys go to Cherry Hill. You're riding bikes. Hours fly by until it starts getting a little dark. You go home and eat supper. What I just described to you in the beginning, is a dopamine reward system of you going to your computer. And I'm talking about a nostalgic 1990s scenario where you go to your computer and the dopamine drove you there. But then what drove you to your friend, drove you to Cherry Hill playing basketball, is something way deeper, something it's kind of a mystery, but like curiosity kind of led you there. In today's day and age, we have that family computer in our pocket, and it's always on 24/7. So we went from, hey, just trying to figure out and explore who's online, to now it's a little bit more insidious. Now we have social media, and it's figuring out like, what are people eating, where are people traveling, what are people remodeling in their homes, and the dopamine reward system is just on full tilt, and we become addicted to our phones. And this is why Ronnie and I, drum roll, got rid of our iPhone 6 months ago, and now we have a minimal phone. And that's what we're going to talk about today in today's video. And Ronnie's going to take you a little bit through some dopamine. What the hell is it?
Yeah, what dopamine is essentially just a neurotransmitter. So you think serotonin, dopamine are the two common ones, and it's like Randy said, it's our reward system. It's involved in like motivation and learning. It basically teaches our brain to say, "Hey, remember to do this again." And like Randy was saying, our phones are manufactured to capture as much attention as possible, and then the apps are competing with each other. The websites, everything, with down to the color, down to the likes, to the whatever it is basically trained to capture as much attention as possible, which is getting you those like subtle dopamine hits, the alerts, all that. And that's what your phone is doing to you 24/7. But the negative part about that is our dopamine reward system is getting, it's like over bandwidth. It needs to get back to homeostasis. So when you get those like quick dopamine hits from TV, you can get them from snacks, high sugar treats, um, candy, whatever, junk food, fast food, sodas, all that. What's happening is essentially you're training your brain for instant rewards. So the constant dopamine spikes, they make any type of delayed reward, because you're getting them so quick, of like, oh, this sugar high, or oh, I'm getting this like on Instagram when I post a thing. You're making delayed rewards, like say, you do this exercise and you lose some weight 3 weeks later, or after you consistently
Mm-hmm.
do it, you're making those less desirable. And one of the main, and Randy, you know this, Jordan Peterson talks about this, a lot of folks talk about this, but they say many life successes all draws back to how good you are at delayed gratification. And like
Mm-hmm.
that should be like a key thing you're teaching your children.
Yep.
But a couple other things, like bad habits become self like reinforcing loops. So if, like, you eat a snack or you watch TV because you're feeling bad. Oh, you had a bad day, boss yelled at you, or you're just feeling low under the weather. I'm going to watch some TV, eat some snacks, and then you eat the junk food. then you start to feel worse. Watching 3 hours of Netflix, then you start to feel worse, but it's reinforcing you to do it more. Like your dopamine essentially is a tagging this as, hey, the learning, it's learning, oh, this reward system. So it's rewarding it, but it's in a negative way. So you're developing these negative habits, and just you can see how this just extrapolates over and over and over.
That's
And
exactly right.
so then even when you're, and you could probably feel this, I felt it when I had my phone, it's hard to be bored.
Mm,
Like our baseline happiness, and we have like a lot of society have a baseline anxiety, and I'll show you a graph here later, but a significant amount of the population have an anxiety disorder, some sort of anxiety disorder, because we can't, our baseline is, we're not getting those dopamine hits because we're getting fed with them all day. So we need them 24/7. Our body's learning this is what we need.
yep.
And last what I'll say on this is, if you look into like Atomic Habits, James Clear, it talks about cues. Like cues trigger like desire of something. So if you, they did this study where they put these people watching a video, and they're just watching a regular video, but they'd subtly, like milliseconds, show this cocaine drug. And these are people that had an addiction to cocaine or whatever at some point. And they milliseconds to where you wouldn't even be able to see it. And that still created a craving and a dopamine in it, even when they didn't see it. So that,
Mm,
how
that's
crazy
powerful.
is, yeah. So just that whole book is talking about designing your environment to
Hmm.
give you uh, good cues rather than bad. But what's our phone giving us the entire day? It's just sitting on our body the entire day, or it's sitting on our desk, and
It's
it's
a cue
saying,
itself.
yeah,
The
just
notifications are cues. All
yeah,
of it is a cue.
yeah. So our environment becomes full of cues. You're getting pings from your work laptop. You're getting notifications from your iPhone, and or think of it of like, you buy chips. It's on the counter. We've talked about this, Randy. Like if I buy some sort of snack and it's on me and I know it's in my environment, I have this like cue, this desire to eat it.
100%. I can't
It's
go to a
very,
coffee shop without eating what's in my backpack.
yeah,
And I'm in the software development world, and I'm looking at, there's this book on how to create habit forming products. They say it in a better, more friendlier way than being addicted, but they start with the trigger, they call it a cue. And so you're trying to get and they're talking about notifications, emails, icons, of like how to optimize and design the product to make you use it more, to make you uh, um, your product in the software world to be more habit forming. And so
mm,
this is the goal. This is the goal. And I build products. I'm a product manager at Trade, and so I this is how I build products. I'm in B2B, so it's far from like these apps we're currently using. But yeah, I think one of the things that you were kind of talking about, where these habits kind of stack on each other, especially these bad habits, and it turns into you're using, on average, adults are using their phone 6 hours a day.
it's crazy.
Children 6 to 9 hours, sometimes higher, or excuse me, teenagers. And I think there's one graph I just wanted to show. There's this awesome TED talk, and it kind of just really took that premise home on like how often we use. And so let's imagine you're an 18-year-old. This is how many months left in your life. All of these little dots, and then if you take your sleep, your work, school, cooking, eating, bathroom, hygiene, driving, chores, errands, this is how much free time you have left in the rest of your life.
It's powerful just
Then
looking at that.
you take screen time, you add in screen time, all that 6 hours a day, and now this is how much time you have left in your life of just free time. And
That would make
it's
you want to
powerful.
throw up.
Hmm. It's powerful. And
Man,
that really motivated, one of the things among many that motivated me to get rid of the iPhone.
yeah.
But
One
yeah.
thing I'm seeing more of just getting rid of the iPhone. What's it been, 6 months now?
Hmm.
And one thing I'm seeing, I spend more time with my kids. I was
Definitely.
off my phone a lot anyway. It wasn't like I was on it 24/7.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Let's stop there real quick. Like we're not. It's not like we were extremely addicted. Like I think I had 4 hours a week roughly, and sometimes under 4 hours a week when on the iPhone. Time
mm,
you use it. And this is a question. Anytime this gets brought up, people kind of get defensive when you talk about getting rid of your phone. People get defensive, like, well, I only use it for this, I only use it for that. Yeah, I had that same thought too. You and I both had that same, like, hey, we only use it here. We would go on uh, gaps where we don't use social media. But there's always like the dopamine there and addiction, and it's in control. You can't fight it. It's the Snickers bar in the bag when you go to the coffee shop. It's gone. You
mm.
know, it's the
And
potato chips.
I would take social media breaks of 3+ months, but it subtly just creep back in. And there's a lot of good in these
Oh,
apps
of
and stuff.
course.
We're not saying there's bad; it's all bad.
That's how we
But
rationalize the behavior
yeah,
because there is
but
good.
exactly. But the bad essentially outweighs the good in my eyes. Like Naval Ravikant said, all screen activities are linked to less happiness, while non-screen activities are linked to more happiness. And
Yep.
I 100% believe that. Like, if you spend more time out in nature, out in the woods, taking walks, talking with your wife, having uh, good conversations, even your neighbor,
Yeah.
whatever it is, like
You're
those are
you're
better time.
you were going down the list of things, and before I interrupted you, and you said family, spending more time with family. What else didn't?
So yeah, spending more time with family. I read a good amount anyway, but my reading has went up a complete other. I'm getting double the amount of reading in, which is
Yeah.
fantastic for me.
Hmm.
Something I enjoy, and then I become more knowledgeable and share it with you all. And listen to some more podcasts, reading, just fit more time in for
Time for thinking too. Just
yeah, thinking, meditating, helping the wife out with dishes and chores, simple stuff like that.
yeah. Oh, exactly. 100%. So I went through and looked at some anecdotes from people who got rid of their iPhone. Some went crazy and did the dumb phone. They didn't go the minimal phone. Let me just read off a few of other people because some of it resonated. Uh, they found it refreshing to actually think about what they wanted and needed. That was interesting. Presence return. People talk about presence returning. Boredom didn't disappear necessarily, but you just change your relationship with it.
Mm.
Creativity, attention came back, and one person said that people approach them more often because they're just not like stuck on their phone. They're more approachable, and yeah. So those are some of the anecdotes that I thought that resonated with me.
Let me show a chart real quick. There was a chart that, and we can wrap it up here. Let's see. Screen. Uh,
I got it. If you want me to share it,
yeah, you go ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. There we go. You want to talk to it?
Yeah, so this is essentially just showing anxiety prevalence across different age groups, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Boomers actually saw a decrease in anxiety because they're just not using their phones much. Like, if you think
Hmm.
of my dad and my dad's dad, or they're not
Hmm.
on their phones a lot, but they're kind of getting into it a little bit. But as you ages 35 to 49, that's where we come in. It's gone up a tad bit, but the younger the ages where they started out with phones in their pockets at stupid early ages, you see the anxiety just. And these kids have a base, and well, a lot of them are adults now, and they have a baseline anxiety to where they don't even know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Going back to this dopamine that we were talking about, their dopamine's inhibited. They don't even know where this anxiety is coming from.
and
And
and this right here is the window of the iPhone. I think I got something that could put a close on this, Ronnie. A quote from James Clear.
mm, and we're not
Where
even we're not even starting to talk about the content, because one thing that's getting rid of my phone, like I don't I hardly take any politics in anymore, right? The links that I'm getting sent in our text
Hmm.
threads and groups, I'm not clicking on them. So I have a lot less divisiveness in my life, which is
Oh,
fantastic.
100%. Yeah, the divisiveness is something that's huge. I don't argue much anymore
Mm,
with like friends. Uh, I want to finish on this quote. So this is James Clear. He says, "Technology creates a level of convenience that enables you to act on your smallest whims and desires. At the mere suggestion of hunger, you can have your food delivered to your door. At the slightest hint of boredom, you can get lost in the vast expanse of social media. When the effort required to act on your desires becomes effectively zero, you can find yourself slipping into whatever impulse arises at the moment." I thought that was
mm,
powerful.
mm.
That says it all.
Yeah, we can end it there.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Good
Good
stuff.
luck.
Appreciate it.